Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and get ready for a crazy story because Kurt Russell has responded to the possible return in a Big Trouble in Little China sequel. That's right, the guy who's just been debunked as going to portray Jor-El in Superman Legacy, now they're saying he might play Pa Kent, i.e. Jonathan Kent, that is, or John Kent, Clark's human daddy. We'll wait and see. But he was asked about the possibility of doing a sequel to Big Trouble in Little China, and he's responded to it. He's answered the question. The interesting thing about this is, do you remember a good few years ago now? I think it must have been around 2008 or 2008, maybe between 2008 2012, somewhere in around there, about The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, was meant to do a remake of Big Trouble in Little China, and nobody wanted that. And then they were saying, oh, it wasn't really going to be a remake, it was going to be somewhat of a sequel, yet The Rock was going to play Jack Burton. How could it be like a sequel or something if The Rock was going to play Jack Burton? That never took off. That seemed to completely fall away. They kind of announced it and then just it went away, it vanished. So now Kurt Russell is talking about possibly doing a sequel, and we'll have a look at what he said. So Russell is currently starring alongside his real-life son Wyatt Russell in Apple TV's series Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, which I'm reviewing on this channel if you're keeping up to date with that. In a recent conversation with comicbook.com, the actor was asked whether he would consider reprising his role as Jack Burton, the rugged protagonist of John Carpenter's 1986 cult classic. It seems that as far as Russell is concerned, he would be more than willing to do it, but only if the script was up to it. He said, "Yeah, never say never. If somebody were to write a great script that was better than the first one, it had something new to say, I don't know, we could slap John Carpenter around a bit and say, come on John, let's go do this." So right away, we're hearing he's definitely up for it. And of course, he's right in what he says there about, as long as the script is great, don't half-ass it and then go, well, let's just cash in on this. So it continued anyway. Whether such a script will ever come along is questionable. And for his part, Carpenter has previously spoken about the potential for a Big Trouble in Little China to be revived in some form, but not necessarily as a movie. In a previous interview, the director said, "I don't know. I think maybe Big Trouble in Little China, it seems to me, would be a fun video game and kick-ass." It's interesting he's talking about there, oh, it'd be fun as a video game. And yet they were talking about making this remake slash reimagining or whatever the hell it was supposed to be with The Rock. Oddly enough, there's nothing I can see in this article about that idea of doing the remake with The Rock. There's absolutely nothing in here about that. Oh, well, they probably even forgot about it themselves. But Kurt Russell is definitely open to returning as Jack Burton, because the guy still has to pay his dues. Because you know what he said when he got asked, did he pay his dues? He said,
"You just listen to the old Pork Chop Express and take his advice on a dark and stormy night, all right? When some wild-eyed 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against a barroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye and he asks you if you've paid your dues, well, you just stare that big sucker right back in the eye and you remember what old Jack Burton always says at a time like that. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail."
And with that, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers, I'll catch you in the next one.